and welcome to this Dialogue Extra. I'm Marcia Franklin. I'm here with Marcia Bemko. She's the executive producer of Antiques Roadshow, of course, one of the highest rated long-running series on PBS, and it came to Boise in June 2013, and you taped 3 shows here that will lead off the series. In the main program, we talked about why Boise was picked to lead off the series and a little bit about the some of the objects. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk a little bit more, well, first of all about yourself and then about the series. You came from public affairs, as I did.
Yeah.
You worked at Frontline, and you also made some documentaries. I would imagine that's a good training ground for what you're doing now, which is involves a lot of fact-checking.
It involves an enormous amount of fact-checking, and frankly, it was a great training ground because you've really got to stay tenacious with this stuff. The fact-checking is challenging. In some instances, we are the first documenter, so where to fact-check it. We will often go to other experts to make sure that we're not really the expert. This other expert's not totally askew in his opinions, but we are often dealing with opinions, and so we will chase down facts. If somebody mentions that this came out of the nun's home, which happens with a lamp with us this season, we're going to go looking to make sure there was a home there and that it closed down, and we are going to try and find out. We're here teaching, so we want to be sure what we tell you is true.
And sometimes the appraisers might make a little slip up as well.
Easily.
So you might have to do some creative editing around that, and certainly fact-checking as well.
We've actually what our editors will call Frankenstein a word, and that's taking some syllables to put it together. Just by accident, the expert may slip with something to say, even something as simple as King George III instead of the Fourth. It's an issue. So there have been instances where maybe we have to cut the whole thing out and put a factoid up because we just can't get it with words. Or potentially he says something like "for" and then another word with a th. And you'll watch our editors, the little tricks, "fourth." And you'll listen real carefully, you might hear it.
Well, and there are frauds.
And there are people who work on trying to fool Roadshow. Or trying to fool the world and think, they can fool us as well. We're very careful with it. Because
you have had fakes before.
Oh, we'll see them in every city we go to. This is what's out there. It's why if you are spending a significant amount of money on something, you really have to know who you're buying from. They have to guarantee what they're buying. If you're buying at auction and you're spending 5 or 6 figures, you need to work with somebody. Unless you know that much about paintings, I wouldn't buy something like that without hiring a consultant at auction, and I know more than the average bear. It's important to get it right because the difference is, well, you've seen on our show, the repro's worth $10. The genuine worth can be as much as $100,000. I mean, it's huge differences.
So you rely on your appraisers to take a look and say, this is not legit.
This feels hinky.
Yeah.
And then they're going to talk with other experts that are on the set that day.
It's amazing how fast all this has to happen.
And if there's some discrepancy, one of them thinks it's right and one of them thinks it's wrong, we want you to disclose that to the audience. This is so complicated, we can't solve it today. My colleagues think it's right. I don't think so.
So you might film it, hold it, and then fact check it.
And see what we can do to follow up so that we give you an answer. We'll ask the appraiser to say enough things so that we can tidy it up and edit it for broadcast so it's digestible with some answer in it. We're not going to leave you fully hanging. We may say, come to the website for our answer because we can't record it. But we'll often, by the way, if we do that, here's a little hint while you're watching Roadshow. And we did this with a David Rago pot, I remember. He's not sure if it's quite right, and I'll be honest, I'm forgetting who the maker is right this moment. And we say, he says, if it's not right, it's worth $100. If it's right, it's worth like some thousands of dollars. We say, come to find out the full story, because he ended up talking to a lot of experts. It was a real puzzle. And what you'll see in the price swing, we call it the swing, that's our technical name for it, is we put in the price that, we'll put in the range if it's a low one, but we'll put in the upper price. It's right. So there's a little hint there for you, but you got to come to our website because we just can't do the recording.
And on the flip side of that, you recommend that people who do know the value of something, because they have sought an expert in the past, don't go to Roadshow, because if you already know it, what's the point, right? There's no reveal. You're just going basically to confirm.
If you're coming to Roadshow to try to impress us, that's not a good motivation. If you're coming to Roadshow because you know the value but you don't understand your piece, you should come.
I see. So if you want to know a little bit more about the backstory.
Exactly. If you're coming to Roadshow because your goal is to get on TV, 5,000 to 6,000 people show up that day. We tape about 100. Come for other reasons. Come to learn something, because you'll always walk out a happy camper. We can't tape nearly as many stories as we want to. There are stories that came into Boise and every other city we go to that we turned down because we don't have enough camera time. We run out of daylight and run out of staying awake.
And some of the appraisers are still sad about that. I know I read your book, and they're still down on those. Ultimately, you're the arbiter, and then I think you have a lead producer as well, Sam, and it's the appraisers who make a pitch to you guys on the floor.
Yes.
Hey, we want this. We think this is good. Let's take a listen to one of those pitches from Boise.
I think, as I said, their expectations are in the lines of what happened with the other clock, and clearly, when I asked her to hazard a guess, it's all all right there.
Yeah, there's no surprises.
There's no surprise.
Okay.
And it's a lovely clock.
And it's still early in the day.
And it's still early in the day,
okay.
and you can tell because you're doing clocks.
Absolutely, no worries.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks for giving me a chance.
So on the right was the appraiser, on the left was the producer, and he had pitched a clock to him, and ultimately your staffer said, look, there's probably no surprises here. The person knows what it's worth, and it's early in the day.
And let me give you some real insider gossip here, okay? There are 3 of us out on the floor doing what we call the picks. Sam's doing a pick, and Jill Giles does the picking, and I do the picking. And so we're pickers, not like in the antique word, but we're pickers out there. We all have very different styles of picking. And so if you had saw a recording with me or with Jill, by the way, I'm a tough one. I don't give my appraiser reasons. He gave the appraiser reasons, and those are good reasons for that particular object. I'm sure I trust Sam's judgment. I'm sure he felt it's something he didn't want to record. Sometimes you have to even calm the appraiser down. They're so upset that you say no, because they really, really want this out. In all the years of doing this show, I have learned a very interesting lesson. No reason I give is good enough. And so I don't give them anymore. My reason always is, I'm sorry to disappoint you, I've decided not to tape it. That is a personality thing. There's no right or wrong way. And so you got a better story from Sam that you would have got if you'd been taping me turning down that clock. Because all I would have said was, sorry to disappoint, we're not going to tape it. I can't win that argument when I start to give you reasons. He was polite to Sam, and there's no surprise. They'll be surprised. It's endless, because why? By the time we work with a pool of about 175 experts, and by the way, if they're on Roadshow, they're at the top of their game, and they are really good salesmen, and so they're selling the pickers. They're selling us why you should put this on TV. To remind you, they've paid their own way. There's an investment in being here. If they tape nothing, the return on their investment for this specific trip is nil. And of course, being part of the Roadshow family is the overall goal. So they're aggressive, and they are really good at convincing you. Of course, over the years now, I know their tricks, but and so does Sam and Jill. These are longtime Roadshow employees. But that was as much fun for me to watch as it was for everybody out there to watch it, because we all do it different. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not taping it.
Kind of like when your kid comes to you and says, but Mom, this is my decision.
You're kind of, but we know everybody parents differently too. That was fun.
You are, and going back to the issue of frauds and fakes, you are working with the FBI to help track down some of these things, yes?
We have worked with the FBI. We don't work with them on a continual basis.
But if you see something...
If something has happened, frankly, they will contact us if they see something or they are trying to track something down. We will obviously cooperate. We don't have that kind of thing come in as a rule. We have seen certain kinds of objects. But I think what's even more interesting than that is the ex-wife who says her ex-husband said he didn't have any money, but he has that really good pot on Roadshow. So whether it's the FBI or an ex-wife or everybody's watching, and now everybody knows what you have.
But no names are given.
No names and no last names. We are insistent upon it. Every journalist who's covered Roadshow knows that if your publication requires that we print last names, then you can't cover the show. We won't risk our guests being identified with valuable things. I have to sleep at night. And I wouldn't want my last name out there with my $1 million, $500,000, $20,000 painting on the wall. I don't want everybody to know that. And so I want to treat our guests the same way I want to be treated. And that is, I just told you I own something really valuable. Now don't tell everybody where I live. So yeah, we are really strict about that policy. And when a newspaper says they won't do it, we pull out our big guns and we say, well, then don't come. They usually then change their rule. They'll come.
Because it's a great story.
Because we're not going to bend this policy for anybody.
Talking about needing to sleep at night, this past year has been somewhat of a tough one for you because you had another program, Market Warriors, that was produced, ready to go, and did air some episodes, but you lost the main host, and then it was canceled. And that had been a huge disappointment for you.
It was. I think Market Warriors had it had good ratings. It was anyone who's made a television show, or anybody who makes anything, knows that as a rule you get better with doing it more. When I look back at the early seasons of Roadshow, we do such a better job now, and that experience is the best teacher. We had done a good job with season 1, and we were ready to do a season 2. We had learned a lot of lessons from season 1, so it was really disappointing not to be able to apply those lessons. I think one of the hardest challenges for public television, and it continues to be and it has been for decades, is that we want more money than we have. And so when they made the decisions to fund something else instead of funding Market Warriors, I threw myself on the floor and sobbed. No, it was really disappointing because we had something fun there. It's another end of antiques. You're not going to see the things they were buying on Antiques Roadshow. Right. They're not the precious and rare.
Those were the pickers out in the field.
They're the pickers. They're not the same kind of experts that you see on Roadshow. They're pickers. And that's a whole other end of the business, which is really interesting, and people are making good livings from it. And you become you're a picker long enough, you become an expert.
More of a reality show in a way.
It was a reality show where you get to, I think if we had all the money in the world, the reality those pickers would have liked is to follow each one around by themselves because they're always looking. They're always picking. It's a 24/7 job.
Speaking of reality shows, in the Emmys, you compete in that category.
We do.
Which always, I don't know. Is that the right category?
It's really hard.
You're becoming, I hate to say this, but maybe the Susan Lucci of shows. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've been nominated 11 times.
It's really sad. But the really sad thing is, I want to share with everybody what it feels like to be me, okay? I've gone 10 out of the 11 times I've gone to the ceremony. One year I couldn't go because Roadshow had a show the same weekend as the Emmys.
How dare they?
Yes,
really?
Really? Roadshow took priority. And my husband, for the first few years, he'd come too. But it's a very long ceremony, so he won't come anymore because you never win, is what he says. And my daughters, who I've brought, and my oldest daughter didn't like it, so she won't come anymore. But when you're sitting there, and we go on the Creative Arts Night, so we're the big award of the night. We're the last or the second to last award of the night. So you're sitting there for your 3 hours or so, praying that maybe this year they'll say the words Antiques Roadshow. And, by the way, I love the other shows that are in the category with us. Shark Tank, and I love those shows. I'll admit it. I love those shows. And you're holding your daughter's hand or your husband, who's ever willing to come with you still, and they say another show's name, your heart just falls. Every year I go, I don't plan a speech anymore. I just I'll figure something out. I'm just not planning anymore. In all sincerity, I have watched that list grow from who could be nominated to a huge amount of programs to what it used to be. There wasn't always a reality category. We
So
always
there's more
weren't
and more
in it.
competition
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
There are so many shows in there.
They need to create another.
To be a nominee is thrilling.
Yeah.
And to get that, if we come upon a year when we don't get that nomination, I will throw myself on the floor and cry. It is such an honor to be in those 6 programs. Yes, I desperately want the hardware, but I don't want to be not in that list of 6.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Susan got it on her 19th. I looked that up. So you
I can do that.
Yeah, eight more years.
I can do that.
You need to if you get nominated again, you should take the little boy that we talked about in the
He'll win them over.
Main show.
Yes. Yeah, I've got to look. I need a lucky charm like that. Something's got to work.
I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the fact that when you go to a city, you also, I mean, it's as much about education as these valuations. And you pick a place, a historic place in a city to go. And in Boise, it was the Egyptian theater, classic Egyptian revival theater. And you displayed some beautiful jewelry.
Egyptian revival jewelry.
Tell me about why. I mean, you have limited time in a show. You could be putting a couple more appraisals in there, a couple more reveals.
Sure.
Why is it important to you to have that historical section in there?
First of all, if you ask even the staff who was here, what happened in Boise, it's a whirlwind this summer. If you ask me to list off last summer's cities, I'd have to really work at it. We need a sense of place. Where in the world are we? I once doing an interview, it was in Vegas, where I actually say, oh, where am I? I'm serious. They put it in the clip, but I was serious. I didn't know where I was for a second. So a sense of place. We also want to be able to talk about objects in a way they won't come in. So we can do comparisons there. We can show how Egyptian jewelry evolved. We also were at the old Idaho Pen. And so we can talk about those kinds of items in a way that you just won't see them walk in that way. But for us, it's really about a sense of place. And the Egyptian Theater is one of the best places we're in this summer. It's a great place.
I think one of those necklaces or brooches, as I recall, was 700,000. It was a huge. Well, maybe it was a huge number.
It was a lot of money, and
how do you travel with these things?
The appraiser
somebody
usually brings those
handcuffed
things.
to
When the appraiser's pitching a piece like that, and they'll be pitching those pieces for next season, they're pitching to be in one of those pieces. They may often know a collector in the area. They may have a client in the area who owns the things you're looking at. He may have these things on consignment, so he's going to sell them. You can be sure he's insured them and he's traveled with them before.
I don't know how you sleep with all the things that you do, honestly, and then at one point taking on another series.
I have a great team.
Yeah,
I'm a lucky girl.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for talking a little bit more about behind the scenes at Antiques Roadshow. I really appreciate it.
And thanks for having me. It's great to be back in Boise.
Come back again.
We will.
When you're on vacation.
Absolutely.
do some antiquing.
Is there good antiquing up here? Because I never got to go out and do that.
Everywhere, definitely.
I bet you the prices are better than New York.
Could be.
I'll be out there. As long as I don't have to ship it. I've already done that, by the way. I've shipped from other cities. Yes, it's a bad thing.
Well, thank you. It's been so enjoyable. This has been a Dialogue Extra, and you've been listening to Marsha Bemko. She is the executive producer of Antiques Roadshow on PBS. I'm Marsha Franklin. Thanks for tuning in.